So imagine you've been applying to 400 jobs maybe a day. It's not hard to believe with AI and all the capabilities doing, but you just keep applying. You trust the grind. You're trying to pull your boots up without having any on. You're trusting the process. And really, what you're failing to realize is that this is a game. And the game is called attention. Because for every application that you're applying on, everything that you're doing, you're just building a profile for yourself on the internet so that these companies can either sell your information and data, and then you end up getting 400 plus scam calls where they're literally trying to get you to give up your social security number in the hopes of getting a $15 an hour job. It's one of those crazy situations. The job market is actually made out of a toxic goo that doesn't turn you into a super cool Ninja Turtle. It just leads to more spam calls and maybe your identity getting stolen. But regardless of all of that, and I'll tell you the secret to getting out this rat race, is really about making friends and quality connections, not on the internet, but in person. Warm handshakes, good eye contact. This is the type of level of eye contact you should appreciate. But when it's all said and done, you would hope that the process is giving you a fair shake. You're doing the hard part, so you should be treated fairly. But we live in a society, and sometimes in that society there are people who don't have your vested interest in mind. And when that happens, it leads them into treating certain people better than other people. And that is called bias. That is called discrimination. That is called, in certain cases, unfortunately, racism. And it sucks for some people to realize that even when you're at your lowest, at your brokest, when the world's got their back on you, someone's still going to kick you while you're down. But every now and again, we get back up. And when we do, we find out that there are consequences for these actions. Affirmative action wasn't created to make sure white people suffer. It was made to make sure black people don't. So with the fact that one of the biggest HR companies literally responsible for delegating and managing resources used to hire, fire, and manage people throughout the country is mighty strange that they are being sued for $11 million. Let's find out how much of that money I get. Hell, maybe even you get, because we're all victims to the system of capitalism. Clap it. Like I said, my name's Hero. This is Corner with Strangers. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you. Without it, can't step two. Shit happens, life happens, but I'm just happy to be recording, being able to make this content. As the year winds down, I'll figure out a schedule. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you want to be kept up to date on what's happening with said schedule. I'll keep you guys informed. But today we want to talk about discrimination. And before anybody gets in my comments saying, this, and maybe I'll learn something here. I haven't read this. Pre-read. My dyslexia is in full effect, so we're about to get the full dosing of this. But hopefully, if you're at the beginning of this and you're one of those people that's saying, well, affirmative action actually is it, shut the fuck up, okay? We're not here to debate that with you. We're just here to talk about the facts of the matter. So let's figure out what happened here, and then we can figure out who's to blame here. But I do think it's quite interesting that they, I hope they don't think them putting a black person, and I'm just assuming he's the CEO. Yeah, he is. Johnny C. Taylor. Doesn't look like a Johnny. But I guess that's how he was able to get his job. Hey, yo, you see what I did there? See what I did there? Because if his name was Adeyemi or Kaibiru or Muhammad, he's not the CEO. He's probably not the CEO, but yeah, good on him. SHRM, the world's largest HR group, has been hit with an $11.5 million verdict. Oh, the verdict is in. Ain't no trial. They've already decided in racial discrimination lawsuit. A jury on Friday issued $11.5 million verdict against the world's largest HR organization over all allegations it had racial discriminated and retaliated against former employees. I can't stand bitch ass companies, man. Just bitch made ass companies that, it's not enough that you're working people to the bone. In certain cases, you're stealing labor from them. You're stealing salary from them. And then you just make it hard to do that. God forbid you go into work and your job makes it actually easy for you to work. Hero, what do you mean it makes it? Just because it's called labor doesn't mean it should be stress. It's called labor, not stress. Why am I going to work and feeling stressed? Oh, Hero, how can I make it? Hey, breakfast, lunch, and if I have to stay there past 5:30, you better have a happy hour. Some dinner. Give me a beer on the way out. You paying for my parking downtown Chicago, motherfucker? You go through all that shit. You gotta buy your own gas, find your own parking, get your own food, put it in a fucking fridge where someone will then steal it, eat it, and then you go, and then they'll help you look for it. The Society for Human Resource Management, known as SHRM, that doesn't really roll off the tongue, was found liable for racial discrimination and retaliation and hit with a ruling of $1.5 million in compensation in damages and $10 million in punitive damages, according to Ariel DeFanzio, a lawyer for the plaintiff. SHRM said it plans to appeal the decision. We couldn't appeal us getting fired. Isn't that strange? You want to appeal the decision? The motherfucker couldn't appeal getting fired. What you mean you want to appeal the decision? Today's decision doesn't reflect the fact, the law, or the truth. The fuck? Why are you lying? They literally already found, this is a verdict. This isn't a conviction. I mean, this isn't the conviction. Even if it was, it's even more guilty. This is the verdict. The trade group said in a statement, "We have acted with integrity, transparency, and full allegations with our value and obligations." SHRM was sued in 2022 by Rehab Mohamed. Ooh, that's the name that's gonna get you in trouble. That's that random selection. I was telling the story the other day that my brother and his wife, married now, been dating 5 years, married, and on their honeymoon, coming back to the U.S. They both have TSA pre-check. They both have always made it through, no problem. Well, except for my brother. He has a last name, Abdullah, powerful in meaning, or God's helping hand. But when she changed her last name, the first time she gave us murder, turned it back to U.S., random selection. Gotcha.
We must stay focused, brothers.
Gotcha.
Stay focused.
You feel me? Reba. I want to say rehab because of my dyslexia, but I'm assuming it's Reba Mohamed, who worked as a trade group as an instructional designer from 2016 to 2020. The case was tried over the course of 5 days in Colorado federal court. The optics are bad because they held themselves out as an authority on best practices, said Alice K. Jump, an employment attorney and partner at law firm Reavis Page Jump. Mohamed said in her suit that she was racially discriminated against by a white supervisor. Gotta put the white and faced retaliation for complaining to management. She said she raised concern about racial discrimination and retaliation with leadership, including SHRM CEO. Damn, I want to say this with my full chest, looking at you, black men. If you are a black man in America and you are in a position of power, and anybody from a minority standpoint comes to you about discrimination, harassment, bias, not feeling safe, you, more than anybody else in the world, must come to their rescue, must come to their aid, must pay it some type of attention. Because literally, some black men's devotion to patriarchy in hopes of getting closer to the white man reminds me of Leonardo DiCaprio and Samuel Jackson's character from Django Unchained. Like, nigga, they not gonna love you. They never gonna love you. You gotta get that shit. You gotta be the one. You gotta be the one. No one else can say. This world will not be saved by white men. It's gotta be you, my nigga. It's gotta be you. Please. Please do it. Please. Fucking Johnny. And he's a junior. You're letting your senior down. And is head of human resource throughout the summer of 2020. And just think about it. It's been 5 years. It took 5 years for her to get justice. That's crazy. While testifying on December 4th, Tyler said he wasn't involved in the Mohamed termination, and former SHRM employee Mike Jackson, who said he was responsible for investigating the matter, told the court that Mohamed's was the only discrimination claim he had ever investigated. So she said she hit you up on the email and you said you didn't. Like, he's so bitch made. He's so bitch made. I don't need. In response to the questions from Hunter Sweeney, another one of Mohamed's lawyers, Jackson said he left SHRM in 2021 and his title was manager of employee experience. He said became a certified HR professional while employed there, and that he had undergone one training session on HR investigations just a few months before the discriminatory event that Mohamed cited in her lawsuit took place. Interesting. I don't know if that flies, right? You pride yourself on being a company that is related to human resources. But I guess, let this be the most important thing. If you take anything from this story, take this away from the story. HR is not your friend. Saying it with me. HR is not your friend. HR is not your friend. They're there to protect the company and stop shit like this from happening. Stop them from getting sued. Bad HR companies. A bad HR company isn't an HR company that reports things and gets bad people out of business. A bad HR company is a HR company that allows their company to get sued. You hear that? Let me say it again. A good HR company stops the company from getting sued. A bad HR company stops people from getting harassed. Because people who get harassed can get sued. When Alex Sweeney said what he learned from the training, Jackson said he couldn't remember any specifics. Could you imagine being on stand and saying, yeah, I took a training and became an HR certified professional, don't remember anything? SHRM was consistently denied Mohamed's claims. In September, SHRM asked the court to bar Mohamed from introducing evidence or arguments that the organization is a specialist in HR's best practice. It's literally on their homepage. The following month, the U.S. District Judge Gordon P. Gallara denied SHRM's request, saying it asserted expertise in human resources is integral to the circumstances of this case and cannot be reasonably be excluded. Could you imagine priding HR is literally in the name of your company. In his testimony, Taylor said SHRM works include advising HR professionals about best practices, including those pertaining to investigating internal complaints of discrimination, retaliation. He said SHRM has a set of circumstances around best practices for investigating employment. The verdict was not surprising given that SHRM promotes itself as an expert in HR. Boston employment lawyer Evan Frey Witzer told Business Insider, "You're going to be held to the highest standard," he said. Yeah, makes sense. During the pretrial discovery for Mohamed's case, SHRM revealed that the existence of 2 other discriminatory complaints from employees. One case filed with the EEE, which is the Equal Opportunity Employment Commission in 2018, was settled. Bitch made. The other filed with California Regulatory in 2021 is pending. Ooh, get the ass. SHRM also denied wrongdoing in those cases. We are very happy that the jury spent a week listening very closely to the evidence and that they decided as a result to hold SHRM accountable. Mohamed's lawyers, DeFanzio, told Business Insider. She said the verdict would send a message to the workplace in the entire country. Hey, clap it up. Let this be a lesson to motherfuckers like Johnny. But more specifically, let this be a message to you. Please advocate for yourself. Because in a world where you are being asked to dream of labor, to work extra hours unpaid, and all you get is a pizza party, and hey, don't get me wrong, I love me a deep dish pizza, Chicago's finest, chef's kiss, I love it. But you deserve better. And life could be good, but you deserve better. And I know you can do it. So advocate for yourself. It's not you. Let's just call it's not you. If you feel like you're being mistreated, go ahead and create a paper trail. It won't hurt. As a person who successfully sued 2 of his companies and managed to go 2 years without working because of it, I have to tell you, it's not a bad gig. It's not a bad gig. So take that with a grain of salt. I would love to hear about this. Is a great topic in the comment section. Hey, put it there. Let me hear about some of those transgressions you felt at the office. You know, Karen getting a little too uppity, trying to tell you how to do you are the senior executive assistant manager. She is just the general assistant manager. She don't have the right to tell you what form letter needs to be on top of your cover letter. That's your prerogative, you feel me? Let me know how Karen be fucking with you in the office, alright? Let me know. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the other side. Peace. Clap it.